Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So I'm going to do this quick video about Eminem's song Fall. As you all know, I'm a big hip hop fan. I love hip hop. I've been following hip hop for a minute now since the beginning. I'm an old head, as y'all know. So I'm a big fan of hip hop. I listen to all types of hip hop, and I listen to Eminem. Like Eminem used to be one of my favorite artists. He's produced three classic albums. His first three albums are classics, hands down. Like in terms of, his lyrics, in terms of his storytelling skills, in terms of his ability to humor people and scare people at the same time, his ability to talk about serious things and then to talk about lighthearted things. He's a very versatile rap artist. Like he has different types of flows and all that kind of stuff. He's one of the best. And, those first three albums are legendary. But his last few albums, I haven't been feeling that much. I haven't even bought an Eminem album in years. I can't even remember. I think the last time I bought an Eminem album was that Eminem Show album. Other than that, I haven't bought his stuff. I've listened to it, but it hasn't moved me to the point where I'm like, I got to go buy this. There are certain artists, when they put out something, I'm like, I got to buy that album right away. Like if Nas puts out something or The Roots, I have to check it out and see what they're, how it is and, decide whether I'm purchasing it. But Eminem, I just think he's falling off, man. And I don't know what it is. He still is a great rhymer. He still has great skills and all that kind of stuff. I wonder if it's because the novelty of him is weared off. When he first came out, he was something different. He talked about things that no other rap artist talked about. I mean, he had some of the most craziest and sick type of rhymes where he's like rhyming about killing his baby mama. He's rhyming about how much he hates his mom and, rhyming about using all kinds of crazy drugs and doing all kinds of crazy things. So he was like something different. And I think that was part of the appeal. And then just his flow and all that kind of stuff. And him being a white artist, that gave him some kind of edge over a lot of artists and stuff like that. So for a while, he was something novel. But now he's played out, man. At least that's the way I feel. I mean, I haven't heard this album that he just put out. I just heard this one track, Fall. Perhaps he redeems himself with this album. But I listened to the album before this most recent one. I wasn't feeling it. It was so-so. I listened to, the other couple of albums he did relatively recently. I wasn't feeling none of them, man. Maybe it's just that he's just played out because he's stale now. At first he was fresh or whatever, but now he's just stale, man. He's dusty. His whole thing is dusty now. I mean, I just think he's falling off. And even though he's falling off, he's going to sell a lot of records. I mean, he could put out a song that's straight up trash, but because it's Eminem, he's going to have people buy it. There are people that will just buy it just because it's him. And then just, the racial dynamic, because he's a white artist, he appeals to a wider audience of people, including a lot of white people. So he's going to sell a lot of records regardless. And I don't think that's a measure of his of where he is in this hip hop game. I just think that he's one of those artists that's on the way down, man. It's sad, but it's true, man. That's just how I feel about it. So I listened to this song, and it's nothing, man. It's not even fire or anything like that. Even though he's dissing all these people, he's dissing Drake, he's dissing Tyler, the Creator, he's dissing Lord Jamar, he's dissing some other people. But despite all that, and, taking subliminal shots at Drake, despite all those disses, it's not fire, man. It's nowhere near on the level of his other diss songs. He had that song where he's dissing Mariah Carey, and then he had this other song where he's dissing Benzito, and then he has a host of other songs where he disses all these pop people and all that kind of stuff. Those songs were clever. Those songs were funny. Those songs made you laugh, but at the same time, he was unleashing lethal bars at people, shooting cannon fire at people, man, blowing people apart with his lyrics and stuff, man. But this is nowhere near on that kind of level, man. It's nowhere near on a level of like the classic diss songs, like a Ether. Obviously, Ether is like the gold standard in diss songs, or it's not even on the level of a Takeover. The Takeover has some classic bars that everybody remembers. Even to this day, people are citing verses from Takeover, like, that line where he's like, I don't believe you, you need more people. Everybody says that all the time. That's classic material. This song, Fall, ain't nowhere near that. This song is not even messing with recent diss songs like that song Remy Ma put out, Sheether, or that song that your man Mace put out, The Oracle. I mean, this song is not anywhere near that level. Even though he's dissing a lot of people, it's nowhere near the level of Tupac's Hit 'Em Up or Against All Odds. Against All Odds, this is probably just as many people or even more people than this song that Eminem has out. And that song, Against All Odds, just hit at so many people, hit them so hard, hit them to the core. I don't think this is anywhere on that level, man. And, a lot of people may be satisfied with this, but I just don't think that it's up to the level that Eminem is used to performing at, man. In terms of his lyrics and all that kind of stuff, in terms of the flow, the beat on this song is not hard hitting. It's just a so-so song to me, man. And maybe it appealed to me over time. But I just want to address a couple of other quick little points about this song. He takes shots at Lord Jamar, and I think that Lord Jamar is probably one of the Eminem's fiercest critics, and I think that he makes some valid points, about how black people built the foundation of this hip-hop thing. How hip-hop is the black man's house. The black man built it. And all these other people that come after the black man, they're nothing but guests in that house. And Eminem tries to take shots at that, basically suggesting that he's in the house and he got his feet up on the table and he's running things and this and that. I'll post a link. Let me see if I can find the lyrics where he talks about it in particular. He's just talking about how he's running things, basically. And I'm not going to go through all the details of it. I'll just post a link so you all can read the lyrics or listen to the song yourself. But he's saying all this stuff. But I think that Lord Jamar is right when he says that, man. There would be no hip-hop if it wasn't for black people. And these white artists, these, Asian artists, these other artists, who are of different nationalities, need to pay homage and respect to the black man. That's the bottom line. And there have been comparisons between, Eminem and Elvis, and Eminem kind of touches on that in this song. In some ways, Eminem is like Elvis. In other ways, he's not. Like, he's not like Elvis in the sense that Elvis would just take up, straight up steal songs, steal people's lyrics, steal people's entire songs and put it out as his own. He didn't do anything like that or completely steal something. He wasn't like Elvis in that sense. But he's Elvis in the sense of, using black culture to get wealthy. Adopting and adapting the black culture in such a way that he gets wealthy and prospers off of it. So in that sense, he is like Elvis. And there are plenty of people that his style can be compared to. A lot of people have compared him to, for instance, the brother from Organized Noise. What's the name of that brother? That brother that has that song, Simon. I'm losing. I can't believe I'm forgetting this guy's name. Pharoah Monch. People say he buys Pharoah Monch style. They say he buys like that guy Chino XL. There's a lot of people that people say Eminem got his style from. But the point is this, he's exploiting black culture to get wealthy. He has a certain appeal just because he's white. And, he's going to have a lot of people eating up his music, buying his stuff just because he's white. He's doing black music as a white person. So that's going to give him a lot of crossover appeal. So in that sense, he can be compared to Elvis. So, I just think that Lord Jamar is right. Like, I think that what happens is because he's white, people give him all kinds of accolades and, make him greater than what he is. He is a good MC, but there are so many other MCs that are just as good as him, or if not better. But because they're not white, people don't give them the kind of praise they deserve. Like a Black Thought. Black Thought would destroy Eminem on any day of the week in terms of lyrics. But yeah, so that's one thing. And then, Eminem disses Drake, by talking about this whole written versus ghost writing, basically suggesting that Drake has all of his stuff written by others and stuff like that, but Eminem is self-made. And I get that point. I support, I get that. Like, as far as me, as far as I'm concerned, like, hip hop should be something that people actually write themselves. I can't call somebody a king of hip hop if somebody else is writing their stuff. So I understand what he's saying on that level, But let's be for real, man. Most people that are listening to hip hop aren't concerned with who's writing the lyrics. Like a lot of these, in terms of the mainstream audience, they're not concerned with who's writing the stuff. They're concerned with, do they like the beat? Are they feeling the music? Do they love the melody? Is it something catchy? Is it something that they can rock with? That's what most people think. And I think that right now, despite Drake having these other people work with him or helping him with his writing and all that kind of stuff, he's still one of the hottest artists out here. And he's way hotter than Eminem. Whether Eminem wants to face that reality or not. People are playing Drake on the radio way more than they're playing anything that Eminem has put out recently. Drake is dominating the airwaves. And he has a popular type of beat. He can appeal to a lot of different types of people. And that's just something that somebody like Eminem can't deal with. And then there's one thing that he was saying in here, about being the guest of hip hop. And he's basically talking about how he's not the guest and stuff like that. He's at home, he's making himself at home. He talks about how he inspired all these people like Logic and J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar, and Royce the 5'9" and some other people. Now, I'm sure that he had some influence on those artists, man. But to suggest that they wouldn't be around if it wasn't for Eminem or, he's the reason why they're doing this rap stuff, it's just ridiculous, man. You know, I'm sure there are plenty of other black artists that they were inspired by. Like, I'm sure like a lot of them were inspired by Jay-Z or Nas or many of these other artists, man. Or, some of these West Coast artists like a Tupac or something like that, man. So I just think that Eminem, even though he's a good artist, I just think that he has an inflated sense of self. And I just think that he's falling off, man. And this song, Fall, is not living up to all the hype that people are giving it. So that's my 2 cents, man. Tell me what y'all think. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Peace.